dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News Weekend Edition.
Good evening, I'm Keaton Hall. COVID-19 vaccines have finally been approved for children under the age of 5. CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky says the goal is to start administering them within the next week. CDC Advisory Committee voted unanimously to recommend the shots for infants as young as 6 months old. Committee members said the protection offered by the vaccines outweighs its risks.
We don't know everything that there is to be known about this. Yes, the data may change, but we have a bottom line here, which is that this infection kills children, and we have an opportunity to prevent that.
Children between 5 and 11 years old have been eligible for vaccines since November, but the CDC says less than 30% of them are fully vaccinated. Since the vaccines will be available for our youngest Kentuckians soon, we asked parents, will they have their kids get it? Jeremy Tom spoke with local parents to see what they had to say.
Well, we've had vaccines. They've been doing well for the older population. And now if you're older than 6 months, now we can get vaccinated and we can provide them some protection.
In an interview with WKYT on Friday, Dr. Jeff Fox discussed the FDA's authorization of COVID vaccines for children under 5. He said while dosages may be different, parents should know the vaccine's effect isn't. But the federal approval hasn't quite sparked local interest. While CDC advisors voted unanimously to recommend the vaccine for kids under 5 today, the vast majority of parents I spoke with here at Jacobson Park tell me they are not comfortable with their kids getting it.
She's not in school, so I don't think I'm going to get her vaccinated.
But maybe in a few years, if we know what's in there and what it's doing to our children, then maybe, but not this early, no.
Crystal Bragman says her stance will likely change when her 2-year-old starts school and is in crowded indoor settings.
Said if my daughter was in school, I would get her vaccinated because she's around other people.
And Jackie Neal is happy her granddaughter can now get it.
Kids need to be out and interact with each other and have that socialization, and you don't want to have a fear of them getting sick.
But CDC survey findings show just 1/3 of parents in the age group plan to get their child vaccinated. While Dr. Fox says the benefits of vaccination outweigh the risks caused by getting the virus. Parents say it's potential vaccine risks and unknowns that are their foremost concern at this time.
We were actually living in Iwakuni, Japan, and we caught the COVID as a family. At that time, she was 5 years old, and we got through it just fine, and I'd rather just work with the antibodies that are in us.
In Lexington, Jeremy Toms, WKYT.
As of June 13th, CDC data shows that just over 70% of people 12 and up are fully vaccinated in Perry County. Well, some exotic cars hit the streets in Pikeville this evening as the GForce Rally came to town. The GForce Rally has been on a 4-day, 6-state rally recently. It made a stop in Pikeville to rev their engines and show their cars to folks in the region. From Audis to Aston Martins, GForce Rally driver Gray Bishop says the event is all about having fun and it's all about the kids.
I'm going to be gone one day, and the next generation of car kids need to come up. And then what better way to do it than to actually sit in one? I let them rev it, we start it up, we do all kind of stuff. It's a lot of fun, and if anything, that's my selfish part. Their smile makes me sleep good at night.
Pike County Tourism CVB Executive Director Tony Tackett also added that the event was a huge success and folks from across the region came out to see these exotic cars as well as local motorcycles and muscle cars. In Prestonsburg today, folks came out with their furry friends to run or walk for a cause. The first ever Rainbow Bridge 5K run walk was held in the city of Prestonsburg at 6 p.m., all to benefit the Floyd County Animal Shelter. The Floyd County Animal Shelter is currently in a more than 50-year-old building, and the county plans to build a new and improved shelter once the money's raised. Along with the 5K run walk, local attorney and supporter of the Floyd County Animal Shelter, Ned Pillersdorf, said there was much more to see and do during the event.
It's a wonderful day, and this is a festival to celebrate our devotion for four-legged friends. We've got a barbecue, we've got music, we've got a 5K going on, and I think at this point we've already raised about $16,000.
Pillersdorf also said there was a recent anonymous donation of more than $100,000 and that animal lovers in the region are thankful that folks came out to support the cause.
After record heat earlier this week, the weather is actually a little chilly tonight. Let's take a live look over at Whitesburg. Current temperature is sitting at 63 degrees. The dew point only in the middle 40s, so the air is dry tonight and it feels awesome as you walk out the door. Upper 50s over at Buffalo Mountain, and across the board, some of us in the upper 50s, most of us in the lower 60s. 64 for Somerset, 58 in Manchester, and 65 over in Jackson. Up on Pinpoint Doppler, a clean sweep, and we stay dry as we go through tonight. And that forecast, like I said, a little bit chilly in spots. I would not be surprised to see some folks in the upper 40s as we wake up on Sunday. Quite the difference from those mid-90s earlier this week, but those 90s are going to return as we get towards your next work week. I have that full forecast coming up in just a little bit. Keaton.
Thank you, Cameron. One Pride organization in Pike County has made history, hosting its first ever event during Pride Month. WYMT's Jordan Mullins has more from the 2022 Pikeville Pride Picnic and what it means for the volunteers and those who came out to celebrate.
Pikeville Pride, a volunteer-led organization focused on lifting up the LGBTQ+ community throughout the region, has made history in the city of Pikeville.
This is, to my knowledge, the very first Pride event to be held in Pride Month here in Pikeville. So we're very excited to just invite all the community out.
By hosting the Pikeville Pride Picnic in the city park.
To be able to do this during Pride Month and have the support we've had from the community has been wonderful.
Giving those in the LGBTQ+ community a place to find someone to relate to, changing lives in the process.
Having a place to come out and celebrate and talk with like-minded people and people who understand what that experience is like, it can be life-changing.
And reminding the mountains that love is love.
No matter who you are, who you love, it doesn't matter. You need to be authentic to yourself and be able to be wherever you want to be and be safe.
Celebrating Pride Month by coming together as a community. In Pikeville, Jordan Mullins, WYMT Mountain News.
Lowen Jones also said Pikeville Pride 2022 at the Pikeville City Park will be held October 15th and feature live music, food, vendors, and more. For the first time, the city of Frankfort is celebrating Juneteenth. President Joe Biden signed a bill last year making Juneteenth a federal holiday, but it's not a state holiday here in the Commonwealth. Governor Andy Beshear spoke at the celebration and also handed out prizes. Scholarships were awarded to student essay contest winners. Participants were asked to examine the history of a topic of racial injustice.
What you see today is a joyful day of celebration with people here from all races and all backgrounds, trying to live up to Dr. King's dream and the promise that was made on Juneteenth that this could be a country for everyone.
Today's event in Frankfort was part of a 4-day Juneteenth celebration hosted by FORR, or FOR. Tomorrow they're having a community picnic on the Capitol lawn featuring reenactments of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s famous speeches. Festival that brings bluegrass music enthusiasts from across the nation kicked off in Jackson County this weekend. The 25th annual Stringbean Bluegrass Festival began on Thursday, bringing in performers of all ages. Festival President Philip Aikman says through this festival, he hopes bluegrass music can live on through the younger generations.
That's the best part for me, because we encourage young people to develop their talents through participation and being here, no matter how old they are.
Aikman helped to found the festival 25 years ago in memory of his uncle David Stringbean Aikman, who gained notoriety for his banjo picking on the show Hee Haw. Knott County officials hosted a veterans fundraiser event at Mind Made Adventure Park today. For a $20 donation to the local DAV chapter, people could take their ATVs and four-wheelers on the park's trails. Knott County Judge Executive Jeff Dobson says he hopes to continually find ways to support the veterans.
Beyond their commitment, their service to our country over for freedom, we want to work with them.
Knott County officials say they plan to host more events at Mind Made Adventure Park for the community. Today, dozens of volunteers in Lexington helped to clean up the Kentucky River. The annual river sweep has been a tradition for the past 25 years. After 2 years of COVID, crews were back on the water this morning. Jennifer Myatt says the group usually collects around 1 ton of trash and have found items including lawn furniture, a water heater, and a message in a bottle.
Unlike many cities, we have a lot of creeks that flow through our city, but we don't have a river that runs through the middle. We get to bring people down and they get to see the Kentucky River up close.
The group picked up 12 miles of the river. Lexington leaders recently announced the site of the river cleanup will become a city park. Coming up at 11, severe weather out west delays travel and causes historic flooding in Yellowstone National Park.
And the temperatures are actually a little chilly tonight. However, this will not last long. I have those details coming up.